Everything I owned disappeared in less than 60 seconds. My name is Daniel Carter. I'm 35 years old. Last Monday started like every other Monday. I woke up at 6:30, made a cup of coffee, checked my emails, said goodbye to my neighbor. Nothing felt unusual. If someone had told me that by sunset I would have no money, no phone, no home, and no way to ask for help, I would have laughed. But that's exactly what happened. It began on the subway. The train was crowded. People stared at their phones. Some listened to music. Others looked tired after work. I stood near the door with my backpack on my shoulder. Inside that backpack was my laptop, my wallet, my phone charger, my passport, my apartment keys. Everything is important. When the train stopped at Central Station, hundreds of people rushed outside. Someone bumped into me. "Sorry," the man said. I smiled. "No problem." 30 seconds later, my backpack was gone. I spun around. The man had disappeared. My heart raced. I searched the platform. Nothing. I ran upstairs. Nothing. I asked people if they had seen him. Everyone shook their heads. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. I hurried to the station office. "Please," I said. My backpack was stolen. The woman behind the desk looked sympathetic. "We'll report it," she said. "But it may take time." Time. That was the one thing I didn't have. I rushed home. At least I still had my apartment. Or so I thought. As I turned onto my street, I saw flashing lights. Police cars. Fire trucks. People standing behind yellow tape. Smoke filled the air. My apartment building was burning. "No," I whispered. I pushed through the crowd. "Please. I live here." A firefighter stopped me. "I'm sorry. You can't go inside. My things. My documents. My clothes. My family photos." He looked at me with tired eyes. "I'm sorry." The fire spread too quickly. I stood there in silence. The backpack was gone. Now my home is gone too. I had nothing left. That night, I sat alone on a park bench. No phone. No wallet. No jacket. No place to sleep. The city around me was full of lights. Cars passed by. People laughed outside restaurants. Life continued, as if nothing had happened. I looked into my empty hands. For the first time in my life, I realized how quickly everything can disappear. The cold wind grew stronger. I wrapped my arms around myself. I hadn't eaten since breakfast. Across the street, I noticed a small bakery. The warm smell of fresh bread drifted through the air. I walked toward it. "Can I help you?" the young woman behind the counter asked kindly. I looked at the sandwiches, then at my empty pockets. I don't have any money." She smiled politely. "I'm sorry. I wish I could help." Embarrassed, I nodded and turned to leave. Just as I reached the door, an elderly man sitting by the window spoke. "Young man." I turned around. He slowly stood up. His eyes never left mine. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. "I've been waiting for you." I had never seen him before. So, how did he know who I was? The old man smiled. "I've been waiting for you." I stared at him. "I'm sorry. Do I know you?" He slowly shook his head. "No, but I know your story." A strange feeling ran through my body. How could he know anything about me? He pointed to the empty chair across from him. "Please, sit down." For a moment, I wanted to leave. Maybe he was crazy. Maybe he had mistaken me for someone else. But I had nowhere else to go. I sat down. The waitress brought him a bowl of soup. Instead of eating it, he pushed it toward me. "You need this more than I do." "I can't accept that," I said. "You can. And you should." My stomach growled loudly. I hadn't realized how hungry I was. Slowly, I picked up the spoon. It was the best meal I had ever tasted. Not because it was expensive, because it gave me hope. The old man watched quietly. Then he asked, "Tell me, what have you lost?" I laughed softly. "Everything. My home. My money. My phone. My job will probably fire me tomorrow because I can't even call them. My life is over." The old man smiled. "No, you've only lost your belongings. You haven't lost yourself." His words stayed in my mind. Before leaving, he handed me a small piece of paper. On it was an address. "Go there tomorrow morning. They help people who are willing to help themselves." Before I could ask another question, he stood up. I walked out of the bakery and disappeared into the crowd. I never saw him again. The next morning, I walked to the address. It was a community center. People were preparing breakfast for families in need. A woman welcomed me with a smile. "Good morning. Are you here for breakfast?" I nodded. After eating, I thanked her. Then I asked, "Can I help?" She looked surprised. "You want to volunteer?" Yes. I don't have anything else to offer. She smiled. Then you're exactly the kind of person we need. That day, I washed dishes, carried boxes, cleaned tables, served meals. For the first time since losing everything, I felt useful again. A week later, one of the volunteers owned a construction company. He watched me work every day. On Friday afternoon, he walked over. I've noticed something. What's that? I asked. You never complain. You work harder than anyone here. I need someone like that. He offered me a temporary job. I accepted immediately. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. Little by little, life began to change. I replaced my identification, opened a new bank account, rented a small apartment, bought a second-hand phone. Months passed. Then one afternoon, I walked through the same subway station where everything had begun. People hurried past me just as before. Nothing had changed, except me. I reached into my pocket, not to check my wallet, but to remind myself of something. I had learned that money can disappear. A house can burn. A job can end. Even the people you expect to help may not answer your call. But as long as you still have courage, kindness, and the strength to keep moving forward, you are never truly left with nothing. Because the most valuable things in life can never be stolen. Whenever someone asks me, what would you do if you had to survive with nothing? I don't answer right away. I simply smile. Because I already know the answer. I did survive. Not because I was the strongest, not because I was the smartest, but because, even when I lost everything I owned, I refused to lose hope.